What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the Cyborg 2 and Cyborg 2 compact keypads from Azeron. The guys kindly sent out a Cyborg 2 unit to me so I could check it out, and I have been using it for a few weeks now with great success. So I asked for a compact version 2 so I could go ahead and create a video on YouTube for you guys. So firstly, what is a keypad? Well, if a keyboard and a controller had a baby, then this would be it. It's essentially a compact keyboard with 30 mappable buttons and a Hall effect thumbstick. Let's go ahead and see what we get inside the box for the Compact 2, and then we can explore both keypads in a little more detail. A leaflet here looks to be for the Cyborg 2, but this gives you an idea of what these things are about. Pause the screen if you'd like to read in more detail. The packaging from Azeron is quite nice indeed, I must admit, and there's even a little message on the cardboard as well. We get some accessories, so a USB-A to USB-C cable for power delivery, some spare screws, some extra thumbstick pads, and a really nicely built little screwdriver thing, which sadly isn't universal, so only works for their stuff, which is a shame, but it's a nice quality tool nonetheless. Then of course we get the keypad itself. This is the Cyborg 2 compact version, and this is their black and galaxy purple colorway, which is quite nice and certainly a little different to the blue and white. So that's everything that we get inside the box. Let's actually take a closer look at the keypads themselves. So these are actually fully 3D printed with a metal plate here underneath and have many different screws which can be adjusted. So you can adjust the distance of the buttons, the actual angle of the finger sticks, and the angle of these upper buttons on the Cyborg 2, including the angle of the thumb and everything else. There is so many ways that you can adjust these to find the perfect fit. They are powered by USB-C, so they will need to be plugged in at all times and are available for either your right or left hand. Both versions I have are for my left hands, but you can see on the website you can get a right-handed version along with multiple different colors and some extras. Omron switches give a lifespan of 50 million clicks, which is great to hear. They do feel really good to use, and I will go ahead and give you a quick sound test as well. So as I mentioned, the thumbstick is a Hall effect thumbstick, and this can be used for movements. Essentially, you bind your WASD key so you can move freely with this in any direction and have your fingers free for buttons. The build quality of both keypads are nice. As I said before, they are 3D printed, which is actually quite cool to see now, especially as I have a 3D printer. I guess I could print some spare parts. There is a heavy metal plate underneath, as I said, which does help give it some weight. And with the rubber feet, this thing does not move whilst it's on your desk. The two differences between the compact and non-compact I think are pretty clear, but personally I do prefer the normal Cyborg 2, as I find it's easier to throw my fingers up to hit the keys versus having to lift them up and over and reach for the buttons. But again, this is a personal preference and would be down to you as the user on what you prefer. There is a little button here for profile switching, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Azeron software and see what we can do inside. So as mentioned, there are 3 profiles here with the options to add more. I believe you can add up to 6, so you can have different mappings for different games. I don't switch profiles personally, so I just use the single profile and I've got it carried across both units. In here you can see how your keys are mapped, and then you can go ahead and map them as you wish. You just press the button to begin assigning, then assign the keys. It's as simple as that. There are a few additional settings in the software as well, so I'll just go ahead and show you those. So a question that might come up is, can you use this on a console? I guess if the game allows keyboards, but I think you'd still need to map the keys on PC, and then I have a feeling it wouldn't work as you'd expect. This is for PC gaming. It's not a keyboard replacement, but a keypad that you can use for certain games. What's the comfort and use like? Well, for me, I picked it up quite quickly, which was surprising. Now, I only really use this for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, but I was pleasantly surprised that after only a few games, I'd picked up all my mappings and I could start performing pretty well. Of course, again, this is down to personal preference. You'll map your keys however you see fit, but in terms of learning it, it's not as big as a learning curve as I was expecting. There are only a few bindings that you have to remember. It's not a total keyboard replacement, as I said, so you're only having to remember things like crouch, jump, sprint, kill streaks, and then you've got your movement with your thumbstick and you're aiming with the mouse. So it's not as big of a learning curve as perhaps using a split keyboard. Comfort wise, again, I have been using it since it was delivered and no issues or complaints from myself. You can pick up extras that will have this at an angle. Mine is just flat, and I think there are even some grip pads that you can pick up, but I have none of these and I have no issues whatsoever. Is it better than a keyboard? Again, I think it depends on the person. I personally have preferred using this over the keyboard recently, and when I've tried to switch back to the keyboard, I do feel like my skills are hampered slightly. But I'm not exactly a pro gamer, I'm old and pretty terrible at most games anyway. I think the main point is I do prefer it though. I do feel I can be slightly quicker with key presses, and I do feel like I am slightly better with this keypad over a regular keyboard. So as I said earlier, there are multiple colours available on the website, and as we've seen in the video, there is the compact version as well, should you prefer to pick this one up. Whilst these are not limited to any sort of game specifically, I'd say if you're a PC gamer who plays FPS games and you'd like a little advantage, then this could definitely be it. It's not going to turn your negative KD into a positive one, but I can say I believe it makes you slightly faster, which in return does mean slightly better. I hope that I've covered most of your questions. I wanted to get something filmed and uploaded as I do get so many questions on Instagram about this thing, so I wanted to kind of clear up a few things there. It gets a massive thumbs up from me. I have been enjoying using this thing, and I can see myself continuing to use it for the foreseeable future. You will find a link down below, and I do have a discount code, so DeveloperAdam should save you a little bit extra. If you do have any further questions, then drop them down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. As always, thank you so much for watching. A big thanks to Azeron for sending these out. And until the next one, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.